Om Namo Narayana. Om Namo Narayana.
Asmad Gurubhyo Namaha, Asmad Paramagurubhyo Namaha, Asmad Sarvagurubhyo Namaha. So today we're talking about Sri Satya Narayana Puja Vidhanam. This is another Puja Prayoga according to made by Sri Rama Ramanujachari in Australia. This one is dated 28th of August 2016. So let's have a look at it. So it starts out with Satya Narayana Puja. It says first do Achmana. So we're not going to talk about there's different forms of Achmana. You have to do Achmana. Deepa Prajwalanam means to light the lamp. This means a standing lamp that you'll use to light other lamps that you might offer. And there's a mantra there. Aramba means to begin. We start with Shuklambraram Vishnam. Yasyadhyur Bhaktardhya. These are two slokas that are to Vishvaksena, to Lord Vishnu and to Vishvaksena. Then we start off with the Sankalpa. Sankalpa actually starts before this, Tadeva Lagnam Sudinam, and the Sankalpa is given. The Sankalpa is for, let's see, Sankalpa is for Satyanarayana Puja. And also, and add on to that, Tadangatvena Nirvignena Parisamaptyatam Adau Vigneshwara Pujam Karishye. So starting with Ganesh Puja or Vigneshwara or Vinayaka Puja, which is done usually in a betel nut or a small turmeric paste cone. Or if you have a deity of Ganesh, you can worship Ganesh in a deity. Then Ganta Puja, there's some mantras here to worship the bell. You can take a flower petal, dip it in sandalwood paste and offer it to the bell, stick it on the bell, and ring the bell, hand bell. Asana Puja, some prayers to be recited to different personalities to hold us up while we're standing or sitting on the asana performing the puja. Atma Puja, where we meditate on ourselves, sort of like a very preliminary, a very shortened form of Buddha Shuddhi to meditate on the self as being completely pure soul that is surrendered and is a servant of the Lord. Kalasha Puja. Kalasha Puja is a very shortened form of Punyavachanam. There are different methods of making holy water to use to sprinkle on different things and for different purposes. Udukashanti is the longest one. Usually people do Punyavachanam. This is a shortened version of Punyavachanam. It's just Kalasha Puja. You just have a Kalasha or a Kumbha and you fill it with water and perform Kalasha Puja by chanting some names of holy rivers and some nice prayers. Yeah, this he says here to show some mudras. Taksha mudra. Taksha, of course, is Garuda. Taksha. Is Taksha Garuda? Taksha is Garuda. So there's a Garuda mudra. Can be done in different ways. There's a Dana mudra. There's a Shankha mudra. There's a Chakra mudra. There's a Meru mudra. I'm not sure about Meru mudra. I'm giving some different mudras to perform, and then Pita Puja. Pita Puja, of course, is either when you're doing Manasika Puja or internal worship, you're meditating on the seat that the altar that the deity is on. It can be within your heart for mental worship, or it could be the altar out, external altar. So again, these mantras are offered for Pita Puja. Pancha Lokapala Dhyanam. So there are 5 Lokapals. So this is beginning with Ganesh, and we're going to invoke them into a pot, or maybe 5 pots, depending on, kalashas or kumbhas. 5 guardian deities. We're also going to perform Navagraha Puja, probably separately, worshipping the 9 planets. So here's this, he's given a small addition to the Sankalpa here, which you could have done before. You could have added on it. Tadangatvena Adau Ganeshadi Panchalokapalaka Devata Dhyanam Karishye. And then some mantras to be recited for Ganesh. Ekadantam Surpakarnam. This is a common Ganesh mantra. And we're offering different offering of our, invoking Ganesh. The next one will be invoking Lokapal, Brahma as a Lokapal. These are all Lokapals, 5 Lokapals, protectors of the planet. Vishnu Lokapal, prayers and Avahanam. Rudra Lokapal, and here we say Gauri meaning Devi. Okay, so those are the 5 Lokapals. Then Navagraha Dhyanam Avahanam, right? So same sort of thing. We'll have a Navagraha mandala or a pot or a kumbha that we can install the Navagraha in. So again, he's given a shortened Sankalpa here in the beginning. Ata Adityadi Navagraha Devata Dhyanam Karishye, starting with the sun. These are all Puranic mantras or classical Sanskrit mantras. You could do the same thing if you want to make it more fancy or more. You can use Vedic mantras for all these things. There are Vedic mantras for each of the planets here. Is also they're not giving the Vedic mantras. They're just giving the classical Sanskrit, Japa Kusava Sankasham Kasyapayam Mahagitim, etc. Okay, so sun. They're the mantras for the moon. They're the mantras for Angarika, Mars. Buddha is Mercury, right? And Brihaspati or Jupiter. And Shukra is Venus. And Shaneshcharya is Saturn. And then we have Rahu and Ketu, which are the different nodes of the moon, also called in Chinese astrology dragon's head and dragon's tail. Then we go down here and we're offering different flowers to the different Navagrahas. Navagraha Nanavidani Parimala Patra Pushpani Sarvadosha Nivritiyami Navagraha Ashivadam Prarthayami. Okay, next we're going to worship the 8 Dikpals. Dikpals, again, Lokapal means protector of the world. Dikpal means protector of the different directions. So there are 8 directions, starting from the east, and there are 8 devatas, 8 demigods that are in charge of those different directions. So we have in the east, going clockwise, Indra, Agni, Yama, Nairiti, Varuna, Vayu, Kuvera, Ishana, and Chetapala. The 9th one will be, let's see, we've got 1 to 8, and then maybe the one in the middle, the Chetrapal, protector of the place. After we've invoked and worshipped these preliminary deities, right? And there's much more complicated ways of doing these preliminary pujas, but this is a very simple way. Satya Narayana Dhyanam. So meditating, there's a Vedic mantra here from Uttaranavaka of Purushottam. Uttara Narayana Anavaka, Ritikam Satyam Param Brahma Purusham Krishna Pingalam, etc. It's a meditation, and also that's from Narayana Suttam, and from Padma Priya Padmini Padmahaste from Sri Suttam for Sri Devi and Vishnu or Narayana. another classical Sanskrit mantra as a dhyanam, as a meditation. And so then we are meditating upon them. And then we do the pranapratishtha. Pranapratishtha means to enliven the senses of Lakshmi and Narayana that we've just invoked into a kumbha or a pot, or into a picture and a pot, a picture of Satya Narayana and Mother Lakshmi. So we do the Rishi Nyas, we do the Karanyas, we do the Anganyas, right? Rishi Nyas is on the head and with the mantra, and then Karanyas on the hands, Anganyas on the upper part of the body. Dhyana mantra for Prana Shakti Devi. Continuing on, there's a Vedic mantra here after you say that one, and then there are some statements made here, avahito bhava, stapito bhava. So with different mudras, you have to look up the other. If you don't know how to do pranapratishtha, you have to learn it from some other video, right? And chanting of Omkara at least 15 or 16 times. In Hari Bhakti Vilas, it's got 16 times, but here's 15. Usually, normal number is 15 in South India, for 15 different samskaras that are offered to the new deities. And then we're going to perform the worship, the main worship of Satya Narayana, and with the goddess Lakshmi. We're offering the Soda Supacharas, the 16 articles of worship. And with each article, we'll be chanting one verse of Purushukta and one verse of Sri Shukta, and then a sloka in classical Sanskrit, followed by offering of the particular upachara, like Sri Rama. Rama means Lakshmi. Sahita, Sri Rama Sahita means along with Mother Lakshmi. Satya Narayana Swamine Namaha. Sri Rama Sahita, Satya Narayana Swamine Namaha. And then we offer Avahyami, Asana Samapyami, etc., all the different upacharas. Ajam Samarpayami, Agam Samarpayami, Achamiam Samarpayami, Shnanam Samarpayami, Vastra Yugam Samarpayami, Upavitam Samarpayami, Chandaram Samarpayami, Akshatan Samarpayami, Pushpamalakam Samarpayami, and then offering of different flowers or leaves or akshata to different parts of the body, of meditating on the body of the Supreme Lord, and offering to the feet, to the shins, to the knees, to the waist, to the navel, to the heart, to the throat, to the arms, to the face, to the tongue, to the lip, to the teeth, to the eyes, to the forehead, to the head, all different and all the different limbs of the body of the Lord. We'll offer some flowers, or we'll offer some akshata. And then again, offering akshata or flowers, or with the different names of the Lord, 108 names, starting with Om Satya Devaya Namaha, Om Satyatmane Namaha, Om Satya Bhutaya Namaha, Om Satya Purushaya Namaha, etc. 108 names. Then again, start again with the Pushukta and Sri Shukta sutras, and offer dhupam, or incense. Again, deepam darshayami, offering a deepam, a lamp. Naivedyam, nivedayami, and of course, when you offer the naivedyam, you can also go through the proper motions of offering the naivedyam and the proper mantras to be offered with parisechanam and everything. If you don't know how to do that, then you need to learn how to do puja in a simple way first before you attempt this, right? Otherwise, if you don't know how to do that, you can simply say naivedyam nivedayami. Then offering fruits, palam nivedayami, tambalam, offering supari or betel nut, or mukhavasa, which is sweet spices to cleanse the palate and to freshen up the mouth. And then again at the end, offering a camphor lamp, nirajanam sandarshayami, offering a lamp. It can be also a ghee or oil lamp, but normally at the end we offer the camphor lamp, kapura nirajanam. They say usually, but here it just says nirajanam sandarshayami, offering a lamp, and then offering namaskarams to the Lord, either prostrating fully or turning around oneself, doing a pradakshina, and at least with the Anjali mudra in front of the chest, offering namaskarams. After which we can offer pushpanjali. Pushpanjali is done with the mantra pushpam mantras. handfuls of flowers at the Lord's feet, using some part of Purushashukta and also some other parts of Taittiriya Ranyaka. Tata Purastadhyamara Jahara, Om Tad Brahma, Om Tad Vayu, etc. Rajadi Rajaya Prasahya Sahine. Some people use this mantra for offering of Harati at the end. Then we have some mantras for doing pradakshina, or you can either go around or you can do a pradakshina by turning around yourself. Yani kani papani, mantara kritani cha, tani tani vinashanti, parakshina pade pade, etc. Chanting some mantras for offering of chatra, chamara. This is all done, if you have those things, if you have an umbrella, if you have a chamara, if you have song, if you have dance, if you have auspicious sounds like Panchavadyam. Panchavadyam is 5 different auspicious sounds. These are all called Rajupacharas or kingly services, which you can offer. If you have those things, or if you don't have those things, you can simply meditate upon them and say the mantra. Chatra chamara gita nrityam vadyam samasta rajopacharan samarpayami. Now some more prayers at the end, which include chamashwapana prayers, which are for begging forgiveness for any mistakes that we might have made with the puja, and some full prayer here called Satyanarayana Mangalam, explaining the auspicious nature of Sri Satyanarayana. Here, normally this puja is done by a priest for a client or for a sponsor or yajamana. And at the time of doing it, the yajamana at the end would give dakshina to the priest, right? And so here's some mantras for offering the dakshina to the priest. After giving the dakshina, which should be presented on a plate, normally they put the money or a check or whatever it is in an envelope, and then there'll be some fruits and flowers. There might be some other some betel nut on 2 palm leaves. There could also be some bananas. There could also be some cloth. And a lot of times they'll just present this. And if there's more than one priest, you can use the same tray again and again. You just change the envelope with the money in it, because normally the priests, they don't take the fruit or anything else. They just take the envelope with the money in it, the dakshina. So that's chant these mantras, or the priest can chant these mantras while the dakshina is being given to them. And then Ashirvadam is the benedictions that they give at the end. So these are all benedictions that are given by the priest at the end. And we also have some Puranic Ashirvad mantras that can be chanted. So all of these can be chanted. And then we have the katha. At the end of it all, there's a katha, and one can chant the Sanskrit, the first and the last verse of each of the. You can chant the whole Sanskrit of the katha, and obviously explain the story of Satyanarayana katha to the people who are getting it in the language that they can understand. But the Sanskrit can be chanted. What they've done here is a system called Munadi Pinadi. You do for instance, here's Pratamodhyayaha, the first chapter. It comes it's a Puranic katha. It comes in a Purana. So you have Ekada Naimisharanye, which means one day in Naimisharanya. Rishaya Sonakadayaha, the rishis, beginning with Sonaka, right? And what they did. And then the 24th sloka is also here, which is the last sloka of this particular first chapter. So then you have the same thing for the 2nd chapter, 3rd chapter, 4th chapter, 5th chapter, like that. Now here he's given a summary of it in English. Given a summary of it in English, and he said where you can go find it in Skanda Purana Revakanda. You can go find the whole thing. So if you have a translation of Skanda of the Satyanarayana Katha, or this part of Skanda Purana, you can go and you can read from that. Chapter 2, chapter 3, chapter 4, chapter 5, and that's it. And so at the end, then after you finish that, then you can have If you want to have kirtan, you can have kirtan, or you can just have the special prasadam, which is made for Satyanarayan Pitta, certain types of prasadam. If you don't know how to do that, then just make regular prasadam offering, offer to the Lord during the puja, and then distribute it to everybody like that. So this is how you do Satyanarayan Pitta.
Om Namo Narayana